Hello chess lovers, Suren here, and in this video I want to share with you a very impressive attacking game where we're going to see a deflection theme. With the white piece is playing Soviet Georgian chess grandmaster Bukhuti Gurgenidze, and his opponent is Soviet Russian chess master Vladimir Sergievsky. The game was played in 1962 in Minsk. Gurgenidze opened up with e4, to which Sergievsky answered with Sicilian defense, knight f3 e6, d4, c takes d4, knight takes d4, a6. Con variation is on the board, knight c3, queen c7, and a3. Gurgenidze is famous for his non-standard moves in the opening, many of which carry his name. In this position, the most popular moves are bishop d3, bishop e2, bishop e3, f4, g3, but in the game we see a3, with which white is preventing bishop b4, knight c6, bishop e2, knight f6, bishop e3, b5, knight takes c6, d takes c6, f4, and e5, with which black is stopping white pawn's further advance. White castled kingside, bishop d6, f5, bishop b7, bishop d3, rook d8, a4, a standard move in typical positions with which white is making black's queenside pawn structure somewhat weak. Queen e7, king h1, h6. Finally, black is preventing bishop g5 because in that case, once black knight is getting pinned, black's position can get somewhat paralyzed. Bishop f2, but this time white wants to pin black knight from h4 square. Bishop c5, and there it goes, bishop h5. Bishop e3, castling kingside is an alternative, but soon we will see that black has completely different ideas. Bishop g5, bishop f2, and h5. In Sicilian defense, this pawn push down the h file is very popular, especially nowadays. This can be seen very often. A takes b5, c takes b5, knight a2, h4, rook d1, bishop c6, and queen e1. Not a good move, and it was better to keep this e1 free for one of the rooks in order to meet queen b7 with rook e1. And also, when you are playing queen e1, you are allowing black to play h3, which turns out to be a very problematic move for white. Instead, playing h3 is better, but instead we see queen e1 with the idea of putting the knight on b4. Here comes h3 and knight b4. Well, if a move like g3, then how are you going to neutralize this attack on e4? If knight c3, then b4. Instead, in the game we see knight b4, h takes g2. Another vulnerability of the long diagonal will play a huge role in the game. Bishop b7, rook a1. Not a good move, but already at this point it's difficult to give white an advice. Already knight g4 or bishop f4 can be very unpleasant threats. In the game we see rook a1, white is attacking the pawn on a6, but at this point Sergievsky landed a destructive punch. You can pause the video and try to find his next move. Ready? Well, look, black's whole idea is to exploit the weakness of the long diagonal and target this king. That's why in here Sergievsky made a deflective bishop d2 sacrifice in order to lure away white queen and win this pawn. If you won't accept the sacrifice, then you will lose your knight on b4. That's why all white could do was to play queen takes d2. And there comes knight takes e4, queen e3, and another very precise move, queen g5 check. Paradoxically, offering the exchange of queens is mating faster. At this point, the other continuation is knight d2 check, but in this case, white can give up his queen and can prolong his resistance, although without a hope, of course. Black is winning. By the way, if you won't give up your queen and play a move like king g1, then this time knight f3 is winning. And then rook takes h2, followed by queen h4 checkmate. In the game we see queen g5 check, queen takes g5, knight takes g5 discovered check, king g3, and after rook h3 check, Gurgenidze resigned. If king g4, then bishop f3 check, followed by rook h5 checkmate. A very, very impressive checkmate. I think that's why at this point, after rook h3 check, as I've already mentioned, Gurgenidze resigned. That was a very nice deflective move by Sergievsky, which I hope that you enjoyed greatly. The bishop sacrifice allowed black to make use of the vulnerability of the long diagonal. In the end, a chess puzzle for you where the task is to find the winning line for white. It's white to move, and as usual, we'll wait for your answer in the comment section. Feel free to check out my early uploads as well. We'll see you in my next video. Take care.